Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special episode of the FPL Wire. We got a while to get going there, didn't we, Wash? With me, I have probably one of my oldest friends in the FPL world. How long do we know each other, Wash? Probably 10, 15 years, I reckon.
At least 10 years.
At least 10 years. I mean, both of us were uh, analog managers, are still probably analog managers who hung around Fantasy Football Scout and then on this forum called Nirvana. And he's one half of my favorite pod, FML FPL. If you guys don't already know, we reference them on the pod multiple times. They do a pod every Monday or Tuesday, and then they have lots of stuff going on for the Discorders as well. And you should check it out. It's a great pod. How you doing, man, Wash?
Good, baby. Thanks for having me on. I miss you, dog. How you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, man. We normally have this done by the time we're in the first international break. There's always a little chat we have pre-season, but
Yeah.
I think it's good that we've done it in the international break this time.
Yeah, it's a nice little kind of take a step back, figure out what's going on in this fucking game, get after it. Game week 4.
How do you feel about the game so far?
The Defcon situation is very Defcon-y. I was kind of very trepidatious about the changes that they proposed and implemented this year, and kind of like in preseason we were kind of positing a little bit about like what does this really mean. And it just to me everything crystallized like during game week 3, where it's just like, to me it's just this is they fucked the game up really badly, and they didn't compensate correctly for the prices, and it just doesn't make any sense. So I'm on Wildcard this week, and I'm fully Defcon pilled. I am going to chase Defcons until I die, and that's what I'm doing.
All right, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. This is just a Walsh 101 where there's a theory crafting that happens, and then there's no holds barred in terms of how deep and far you chase that theory in terms of, and I've seen your wildcard team, which our listeners and viewers will see soon, and I have a couple of interesting notes on that as well. But did you know
How about
that
you?
I've uh, I've had an
How
all
are you
right
doing?
start. I'm good. I made my first two transfers last week, and
Yeah.
they were
Yeah, I
Cunha
saw.
and Sar,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
immediately got injured, right? So it's like
Yeah. I had Cunha also.
I had him
Didn't go
capped.
great.
I had him capped.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. You
I,
wanted the 1 point so badly, you got 2 of them.
and what's the funny part? Game week 2, my captain was Palmer.
Well,
Yeah,
Palmer,
at least,
worst pick in the game, but
oh, we're strongly going to debate
okay.
that one. Yeah,
We'll talk about that.
yeah, man. But I think FPL is good this year. Like what I'm at least seeing around, there's no real template. People are experimenting and going about it in their own ways. There's many ways, seemingly fine to play the game so far. So at least with the pricing, outside of the Defcon stuff they're going to talk about, I think they've done a decent job because I don't see too many players in all teams, which I'm liking at the moment.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
you love to see that. You want to see diversity. Not fun when everyone has 7 of playing with the 4 or 5 defenders. That in plenty. I mean, it also helps when all the players get injured. So, that forces us to diversify. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know? Fun fact: there's this website called FPL
Okay.
which
Not familiar with it.
by default does a content creator league. They just pull in the IDs for all the content creators. You're sitting in the top 10, and there's about 80 content creators. So good job by you.
Hey, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Means nothing. But I appreciate it.
All right. All right.
FPL CIM. I'm fucking my competitor. People I've never heard of before. I hope I
Yeah.
beat them.
Yeah, man. I hope you do. I hope you do.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get into. I
What
don't
are we
know.
talking about, dude?
Yeah. So we talk about your team. We'll get there a little later. But I just like was thinking in the shower. That's why I took time in terms of what I want to ask Walsh, and just a couple of like process focused things. Firstly, why did you pull the wild card?
My team was fucking horrible. Firstly and foremost, I just free hit in Gameweek 3 because I had the Reuter and Palmer injury. I was contemplating either rolling into wildcard with 3 transfers or just free hitting. So, like a genius, I free hit and I got 3 extra points. Huge for me.
Huge.
And that was obviously it comes to it. But yeah, my team is just a mess, and my defense, I needed to change literally every single one of my defenders, and I'm keeping 3 players, or 4, I guess, with King, 4 or 5 midfielder. One of very few things I got right. I mean, the only things I got right were these 4 players that I would be keeping, which is Mo, Holland, King, and Etta. So yeah, everything was just bad, and I felt like every week I waited to try and get the extra 3 points for defenders was just it made no sense to me. Just I just want to get as early as I can. Like you're saying, right? Everyone's playing the game differently. My crystal ball is by the time it's game week 15, nobody is playing with less than 5 defenders. I don't believe that is going to happen. Everyone's going to be on 5 defenders by that time. I think it'll maybe take that long, but that's where I see the game. That's where I see it going. So I want to just kind of get that as early as possible.
Yeah, I'm with you on board where the meta is to buy the extra Defcon points. It's just talking about just you and I when we see something. Like we've discussed this even last year. You go 100% of the way deep in chasing that, and I'm somewhere around 75% just in case I'm wrong and shit happens.
But that's what hits are for, dude. That's what fucking hits are for. I'll hit my way out of it if I'm wrong. You know, it's not gonna be the first time if this is an incorrect call. You know, I mean, I make incorrect calls every season, but it's just what I feel like is happening right now.
Yeah, but to be fair, you tend to get a lot right. One of the things you got very right at the start of the season, which I'm going to talk about later, is Paqueta, Pac-10, as we call him on our Discord. But why I don't feel the confidence to wildcard at the moment, and I wanted to discuss this with you, is I feel like this is like the highest turnover we've had in teams, especially like the top 12, 13 teams in the league ever. I don't remember a window like this in my lifetime. So I feel like players haven't even settled. Even Liverpool, they've got like 4 or 5 new faces in the starting 11. There's no like gelling who's going to get the higher percentage of shots, who's going to get the goals, what's the goal share going to look like in these top teams. So like I don't feel confident enough to make picks at the moment for 15 weeks. So how do you think you're going to sort of ensure for that at the top?
Well, I mean, again, this comes back to what I keep talking about. This is a completely different picking of a team than I think I've ever really done. The game is completely different. It's similar to Fuckle, Fantasy UCL, where you get all these free points for recoveries, where it's just like, oh, you're just an idiot if you have a fullback, because the center backs just get 11 points for playing. Like they just play the game, they get a clean sheet, and then they get an extra 4 points because they get all these recoveries. I don't know what they are, but they do it, and that's what happens. It's been like that for years. You just don't. I mean, unless it's a Hakimi or something, you just don't have fullbacks in the game. It doesn't make any sense. They don't get recoveries. They don't get the free points. I'm only picking 5 attackers. It's not that many players. Like, and I'm just picking the best ones. So it's like you look at this center back situation where I hear a lot of people talking about it in generalization of, oh, well, not all the center backs get the Defcons, or which teams, or like who you're playing against. And if you play Bournemouth, you're going to get the Defcon bonus. But if you don't, there are exceptions to that rule, and there aren't 14 of them, but there are 6. We just need 5. And it seems very clear to me that we have 5 that you can name. Like there are 5 center backs who have gotten 10 plus, or between like 8 and 17 every game. That's enough reliability for me. The teams aren't going to change their systems. They're not going to change their structures dramatically from what we've seen in the first 3 game weeks. I don't know what's going on with NFO. That's a completely separate entity. But, there are 5 center backs. I'm like, yeah, 75% of the games are just going to give me 2 extra points every game they play. Like, good. I'm done. Like, I don't give a shit about anything else. That's plenty. And then I just have to pick 5 attackers, and I have so much money to do that because I have 5 defenders, and defenders are cheap as shit. So it's just not that hard. Like, it just seems it's so easy to do it, and it just feels appropriate and correct. And if it doesn't work, the idiots that make this game change the rules to make the game so much worse that we get 5 transfers. So if it's not working in a few weeks, I could just wildcard again, and it's a 5. It's like it's a joke, So it's okay. I'm chilling. Like, I'll be chilling. I'll do this for a few weeks. I'll be in good shape.
So you're going into it with 3 free transfers as well. So that's the insurance policy, I reckon.
2. I'll have 2. I'll have 2 because I free hit, so that the one I saved didn't blah blah blah. So when I come off wildcard in game week 5, I'll have, I don't know how many. Maybe I'll have 3. I'll have 3.
All right. Cool. Let's just get into your team because actually one more question before that. Yes. So you're saying that the process has taken a full U-turn in terms of how you're thinking about it. There's not much looking at fixtures. There's not much looking at short-term fixtures for attackers, maybe. There's just who are the long-term picks, who are the Defcon guys, and just get those guys?
Well, so there's a couple things. Like, firstly, we talked about this a little bit on our pod in the preseason, that we were kind of having an inkling that this was going to be a thing. And I was sort of like a little bit resistant to it, to just like do my normal contrarian thing of like, let me just still get fullbacks. Like, I like them. It's fun. It's not fun. You know what's fun? Michael Keane just getting 8 points for being one of the worst players on the pitch. And, fucking Buckford saves a pen. 8 points compared to 6 points is so many more points. It's hard to really wrap your head around how many more. And like when it gets incrementally added, like if you stack that across the board. But the one thing where I'm a little bit uncertain about is, like, I still would probably want to avoid starting against the top 3, like against Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. If I could have, other than Van Dijk, who's obviously start every week, but when it's a mid-table like LaCroix, right? Like, I'd probably rather not start him against Liverpool if I could help it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get a little extra money to get an attacker in there, like even if it might be a KDH or something. Just someone who I could, hide that one fixture when it arises. I mean, it doesn't happen every week. 5 defenders, you'll have plenty of weeks where none of the 5 play the top 3. But I mean, I think that's the only caveat that I'm thinking about, of maybe like that's not, because the extra 2 points they're going to concede. Maybe there's a yellow card that concede twice. You're probably looking more at like between a 1 and 3 points more likely in that fixture than something like between 4 and 10.
Yeah.
All the other fixtures.
Yeah, because it's an interesting conversation to have, right? Because Arsenal's a good example, because they have a couple of tough fixtures now after NFO, but like game week 7 onwards, the run looks ridiculous. Now, that's a lot of people are asking that question, that is it worth paying 6 million for Gabriel when you have your Senesies of the world giving you 3 to 8 points on an average every week, and there's a very high likelihood that you're getting 4 as a floor when you're looking at a decent team like Bournemouth anyway. But like, how I'm trying to think about it and debate it is that the 4 points is still greater than the 2, right? Because you're still getting 4 points for a clean. Like, cleans are definitely a thing, and Arsenal are as reliable as they come when it comes to a clean sheet. So should we ignore the Gabriels of the world in general? What's your thought there?
Not a pick. It's just fundamentally not a pick in the game. Doesn't exist. Like, if you're getting Defcon 1 in 7 games, like, I mean, that's what probably Gabriel, 1 in 5 games, something like that. Just think about it from the standpoint of how many points you're missing. Senesi gets a free 2 points for 4 games in 5. That's a clean and a half.
Yeah.
So like, you're just stressing so much on attacking return, because Gabriel gets no bonus points and no Defcon. So he has to clean, which, yes, they're the best defense in the league, but we know how, fragile a clean sheet is. It's one, error, it's one little thing. And, the Defcon points, what happens when they give a goal up? You still get 2 extra points. They don't go away. They're still there. It's not us sitting on it's minute 80 and you have, fucking Van Hecke and you're like, oh my God, if they clean, he's going to get 9. because he's on max bones and there's 10, and then they fucking concede in stoppage time because they suck and they're shit out. And then you get 2 points. But with Defcons, you just got 4. And you're like, oh my God, this is still great. Like, I still get 4 points. It's a return. Like, it's just basically an assist. I think it's game breaking. And I don't like the adjustment in the price for these players should have been way more dramatic. Like, it should have been 1 to 1.5. Or like, look, LaCroix should be 6 million to me. Like, he should, like, Vandenberg should be 5.5. Arco should be 6.5. You know, I mean, that's what I think the prices should be after seeing how this has kind of unfolded over the first few weeks. So, I mean, I think that's just, these are edge cases, and this is never going to happen again.
I still have my doubts about no other defense but Arsenal, because I do feel like with them the clean sheet is not as fragile because of how just their manager chooses to play the game and how they do this. But TBD, right? I mean, I'm not wildcarding right now. I'm not spending money on transfers at the moment. But like, that's the only thing, because like how I think about it is like clean sheet is still double the points of Defcon. Like it's like how you see that Defcon not adding up is stacking up. I see like the clean sheet also just stacks up. So we have to like still base case pick decent defenses which are giving us Defcon monsters as well.
Yeah, I mean, yes, and also I'm not looking at the team, but like I'm just looking at Raya for the use case because he typically plays the most minutes. Like, they hit 13 cleans last year.
Yeah. But
20, you know, it's not 20. You know, I mean, it's a low roll. It's probably a low roll. I mean, the year before they had 16. I mean, that's not enough.
yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just not enough. It's not enough to compete and combat with the free 2 points every game that everyone else is getting. If they're only keeping, like, I think they need to keep in the 20 region, like in the Liverpool year a few years ago, or like Manchester United and like way old when they're keeping like almost half the games, like shit like that. Like, that's how because the DEFCON guys like Palace, we'll fucking keep 10. You know, I mean, just whatever. We'll keep 10. Like Bournemouth, they'll keep 10. Like, you know, Brian Ham, they play with, they're like good Ebenings with 2 attack. They don't attack. They'll keep 10 or 8, or that's enough. Like, you chip in a couple attacking returns. I mean, they're gonna all just get points. It's just, they're just gonna all get points, man.
All right. I hear you. I just say,
Yeah.
I want you, because you've got 10 more days to think about it. I like that we're doing this early in the uh, international break, so you can like let that simmer. But let's get into your team. Just you want to read it out for the listeners?
Sure, yeah. So goalkeeper, I'm definitely going 4-5. I don't know. I have Queeve still. Typically, I don't think I've ever kept my goalkeeper on wildcard 1 ever once since I've played FPL. And this was something I was talking about. I'm so bad at picking goalkeepers, even though I spend probably more time thinking about goalkeepers than any other position, which is my own status testing aspect of myself. But I have Kelleher still. I might go Petrovic. I definitely prefer Petrovic, and I like Bournemouth in general more. But there's something to just like the herd mentality, the sheep of Kelleher, and they don't attack. So that's a 50-50 call. That's gonna go late. And then yeah, like I said, 5 at the back. I have a 5-3-2 setup right now. So I have Senesi, LaCroix, Tarkowski, DVD, and VDB, Vandenberg. And then in mid, I have Bruno, Mo, Paqueta. And then up top, I have Gyökeres, and Holland. So, you know, I have 5 pens. You know, 2 of the 3 mids are very good Defcon merchants. And, you know, just kind of covers everything. Like, I'll cover best team and best 4 teams or best 3 teams in the league captaincy, and or best 2 teams, 3 teams in the league captaincy every week. I'll be okay there. So I think it's pretty good. And then I have King is just the bench shield, and then I have non-play 5th mid and 3rd forward spot.
Yeah, it's like you're doing the thing in terms of you're getting the pens, and we've seen a lot more pens. Do you think that continues, by the way, with the pens continue? They always tend to like go hard in the first 5-6 weeks,
Yeah.
then they overcorrect after the maybe the second international break, where they're okay, we've had too many pins and this isn't necessary. And I presume that might happen. What's your read there?
I think the handball is the one thing that's really stood out to me. Like, it seems like they're much more liberal in calling handball pens than they have been doing in years past. So if that doesn't change, then I think that pens are going to be really high, because players' arms are attached to their bodies. We know that every player in the league has 2 arms, and it's just they're turning, they're twisting, they're doing this and that. I mean, I think like the Everton pens, the game week 1 pen against the Thiago pen that he hit. What was that? They were playing NFO, the NFO clean wipe like that. I mean, these are pens that were never given you past. So that's the big thing, and we know that PGML they're only good at issuing apologies and nothing else. They could just say, "Hey, we're not doing this anymore," and then we're back to. We would have probably had 6 less pens to date in the season if the bad handball pens or dodgy. I don't know.
But Chelsea will
So that's
continue
really
to
the
have
only thing.
clean sheets. We'll hand out apologies, but Chelsea keep clean.
Yeah, Chelsea, Godfather knows where the bribes are supposed to go. Whether it's FIFA, the Donald, gold badge on their chest, GMO. I mean, it's game week 1, game week 3. They haven't kept it clean yet, but they have like 3 of them. I don't know what's going on. It's actually.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right,
Goff must be fucking beside himself with Chelsea. Chelsea are so bad.
Again, we disagree. I think Chelsea and Palmer is our biggest differentiation of perception on how we see things at the moment. Because I'm like Palmer's biggest fanboy. Like I think he's going to be, once he's fit, I think that the last 6 months is just a glitch in the matrix. That's how I see it. But I want to talk about team structure here. Like, I love what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I just feel like there's just no fucking insurance.
Yeah, tell me.
There's just no fucking
insurance. You never do you buy insurance on your fucking iPhone? You never buy insurance.
But I buy insurance for the first year.
No,
when they're handing out insurance, like when you're having like Walsh, my last 2 transfers in were Sar and Cunha. Game week 4, Europe hasn't even started. Like game week 4, Europe is starting. I don't care if you have a non-playing 8th attacker, but I think you need to have a playing 7th attacker. That's
king.
That's the so you're saying 2 subs is fine. You're okay with that much depth and you have that much belief in the Josh.
Well, I don't have 2 subs. I have 1. No, I mean it's obviously very flimsy and very thin. I think the difference is, I mean, half my team are center backs, so I'm not concerned about that. One of them gets injured, obviously you can't adjudicate for that. If I have 1 week where someone misses, fine, whatever. But I mean, my other Bruno, pretty reliable.
Yeah,
pretty reliable. Holland, pretty reliable. Pack, best pick in the game, pretty reliable. I mean, Gyak is the one, but as long as Kai's out, I'm not imagining Marino starting up top. So, I mean, I look at those 5 players, I'm like, there's nothing there. It's someone gets injured and I make a transfer because someone's injured. But the depth is just, I can't imagine how it becomes tested. I just don't. I have not envisioned that world, honestly.
The world. Why? The thing is, I feel like your structure is going to make sure that it's easy to get out of it because Salah, Bruno, Haaland are just expensive picks. So it's easy to go from Haaland to any decent, like Isak, for example, and you can upgrade Bar to any decent 7.5 midfielder that sort of emerges if you have to do that if injuries fuck you in the future. I feel like that structure sort of helps you there, but I just feel like
dude, you're not getting with what I'm saying, what I'm putting down. That doesn't exist because I don't need to get an extra player. I would just switch one of my attackers. I'm not changing my formation. It's 5 at the back the whole rest of the way. So it's just a 1-for-1. I mean, it's just a free transfer. I can go down to any player in the game. I could trade if Bruno gets hurt, I just get a different mid. Gyak gets hurt, I get a different forward. It's a different thing, right?
I just don't think that sticks the whole way. I just don't think that sticks the whole way. I feel like
no. Do you know they gave us 5 transfers because there's a African Cup of Nations? I don't have to do shit the whole way, man.
I know.
They're giving us wildcards every fucking month. They want us to have so much fun. They want us to click. They want us to be engaged. I'm clicking, okay? I'm fucking clicking.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like This is just, I think I just put it down to a stylistic difference where you just go the 100%, and I'm like, Walsh, if you just went 80%, this would be so fucking great for you. Like what would I do? Like, like I like all the picks. Do what you want. Just like spend 4.5 million on a defender instead of Tarko, and just like get KDH instead of Bar, or some 6.5 million just as insurance. Like that's all. That's like I, without even changing too much in your team. There's other 4.5 million Defcon defenders. Like you're buying yourself a little bit of extra insurance. Like that's the only thing I wanted to simmer on, just in terms of buy the insurance for the first year, because like you're gonna see things game week 4.
You worry about me. You're a good friend.
Yeah,
You're just worried about me.
yeah, yeah, and like I think it comes from a place of we do listen to each other, and like we'll at least think about it in terms of what we should or shouldn't do. And it's your wild card, and I think you've had a good start, and I want you to have a good season. And I think the picks are fucking great. I just feel like you're one insurance pick away from like shit not getting terrible. That's all. That's all. And but you're right. Like yeah. That's maybe.
Well, I think it's back to like, if I did something like that, it would be back to the idea that I'm more committed to wanting to rest the defender against the top 3, and like that's what I'm prioritizing. It's not because I feel like I need to have a better guy on my bench. Like I don't think I give a fuck about that. It's more like, no, I want to have the ability to bench Arco when they play City, or Senesi when they play Liverpool, or Vandenberg.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not sure yet. Like that is the one thing where it's only been a few weeks where I'm not. Because the way that I kind of see that playing out is like, how many they have 6 of those games. How many points do they need to get in those 6 games for it to be okay to not like bother rotating and invest in an extra position? That's the question, kind of like, and it's hard because I'm not going to have this for 38 game weeks, and it's like a little bit more. Like if I feel like there's a somewhat remote chance that there could be a clean, like Everton at home Arsenal, like I could see a clean there, honestly. If I don't know when the game fixture lines up, but the way they play, it gets slow. Arteta doesn't push, that kind of thing. I'm like, how bad is that really? Like, is that really bad enough that I want to spend 100 or like 1.5 in a midfield spot that would be my bench otherwise? I'm not sure. I mean, and between Bournemouth, Palace, Everton, and Brentham, which are the defenses I have in my 4 other defenders they all like park. I mean, they can't. I mean, not Bournemouth, but they'll just blow a team away like we just saw against Spurs, right? So I feel pretty good about those teams. I mean, I don't have a defender on fucking Leeds or some shit like that, or NFO or some horrendous team, Villa or something,
But you should. Leeds is not horrendous. Leeds is decent. They can keep the ball. They're decent, and they help you save money. Like you get, Rodon's got a lot of tattoos.
Yeah, and then they lose 4. Look, dude, I'm a big Rodon. I started him game week 1, big guy, big fan of his. But then they lose 4-0 Arsenal because their manager is fucking Fark. Still Fark. So they play a good team. They will get disassembled for the rest of the season. I will bet my mortgage on that, as we've.
Yeah, you just don't. Okay, let me paint this scenario for you, right? Like transfers are a thing. Like you're not picking this.
For me.
You're not picking this team for the next 20 weeks, right? You plan to change things around and make transfers, right? Like when we're talking about theory, like if there is a world in which a team like Arsenal has a run of like 9 or 10 straight weeks where the fixtures look decent, like despite them not getting Defcon points, should we ignore them? Because like if it was staggered like the top of the schedule for Liverpool, I hear you, where the clean sheets sort of become fragile. But you're getting the gift of the great run for Arsenal game week 7 onwards. I would not fully ignore that. That's all.
Well, so one thing also, I think that's another shift that's happened very recently that doesn't exist anymore. Like there is no such thing as a game week run of 8 or 9. Like the parity in the league has just been elevated. Like there aren't 6 teams that are really bad anymore like there used to be, right? So, the fixture runs that are good are more like 4. Maybe you can find a 4 game week window where maybe they get 2 promoted sides and then 1 mid-table side and 1 good side, and that's about as long as it goes. So like if you're not being buoyed by the free points, then I don't have time for it. Like I just don't think the fixture run's going to be good enough to overcompensate for not getting the free points, you know?
My only here in my head is I think those rules apply to every team except Arsenal. Like I think they're an exception to the rule in terms of just out of the big teams how they play.
Yeah.
Like even the 13 or 14 last year was because they had no players fit. Like their defenders were fit, but they had no players fit. And Arteta's ensured that even further by getting even more defenders and even more defensive midfielders. So like he's got backup
Yeah.
there to play the way he wants.
I mean, I hear you, and they're deeper than they were last year. And guess what? They have like 4 starters hurt, and it's August.
Exactly.
So it's like I don't know, man. But no, I mean, I definitely agree with you though in terms of like Arsenal being a cut above. But dude, the 2 points, like, tell you, man, it's cracked. Like it's free shit.
All right.
Because this is the other thing. Like, think about this. I was just like almost had this, but you have 5 defenders. You just have a week where, like, I think a bad week is 3 of them get Defcon points. But there are going to be a lot of weeks where they all get Defcon points. You're getting 10 points. Nothing happened. They didn't do anything. They just played. They just played the game. That hasn't been a thing. It's something. I think it's really something, honestly.
I'm with you. I agree. I just
right.
The only thing,
dude, I told you I was DEFCON pilled. I'm fucking DEFCON pilled. Man.
You are DEFCON. You are DEFCON. You're taking like 5 shots a day of DEFCON. That's what's happening at the moment.
Oh yeah. That's all I think about. Well, let's I just also do want to move across. I mean, I know you mentioned Pac. Like I want to talk about Paqueta, but him and Bruno are unbelievable picks. Like they also just get extra points for just playing the game. They don't do anything outside of their. People create and fuck up chances, like they're good at doing that all the time, but they just get DEFCONs and they get all these extra points. It's berserk.
Yeah.
They just get extra points.
Yeah. So what you're doing is you're just fully committing to the new rules here. Like you've got 7 players capable of DEFCON. You're seeing more pens, so you've got 5 pens in there, and you're just going all the way max. I respect that. Now, what I want to get into is in sort of the intricacies of the picks, right? Right now, like how much is that? How likely is Kelleher to stick there? Because like both Vanderberg and Kelleher, like I don't see that sticking. Like I don't see them having figured out their defense. I feel like I'd much rather go double Palace with a Richards than I'd go like a double Brentham with a Vandenberg or a Kelleher. That's something I want to ask you about.
It's difficult because I really don't. You know how I feel about triple defense, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that's a like an edge case that I want to bet on, but in general, I try to look at my players in isolation. So it doesn't matter because I in my fantasy team, Kelleher and Vandenberg, that their clean sheet potential or their picks, like they're different. It doesn't matter. Nobody knows anybody. Vandenberg, I think, just because of the nature of the DEFCON reliability. I mean, I really was looking at getting Collins because Collins is close to DEFCONs. He's okay, but his attacking shit. I mean, he should have had a fucking assist because he got thrown down in the end and they fucking shot a fuck. Collins had 9 attacking returns last year.
Same set piece coach.
Yeah, he gets fucking. Well, yeah, set piece coach is elevated, but
yeah,
I mean, Collins gets FPL assists for fun. So that was the one thing I was looking at a little bit of, like, can I find 0.5 to go to Collins? But then I also was kind of also looking at that. Is that worth it? Because I'm going to be getting less DEFCON points from Collins. How many attack? Like 9 is a high roll. He's not probably going to get 9 again. How many does he need to overcompensate for Vandenberg's automatic DEFCONs? It seems. But I mean, Vandenberg feels pretty nailed, honestly. And Kelleher, the thing that's interesting with Brentham that I've been seeing so far this season is like he just isn't interested in going for game. I mean, he's just they catch a goal. They're playing generally very defensive, extremely defensive. And I don't imagine that changing dramatically as the season progresses. Like he probably just doesn't want to get walloped. And I've been really surprised that Keller hasn't been making more saves because they've been giving up a lot of shots and a lot of them getting a lot of shots getting blocked. So I feel like he's going to kind of normalize a little bit more because we had Flecken last year, 7 saves a game. So that's more on my mind than like these first 3. But all I know is he's not doing anything crazy. Andrews, the curly-headed Irishman. He's kind of just copy pasting whatever Frank had and whatever the binders are in the office. I'll keep using these. So I just feel like they're just going to be solid. I mean, they're not conceding very much at all. I mean, they go to Sunderland and they basically just cover up. Like they're just parked the whole game. So if he's going to Sunderland and playing like that, then I feel good about them keeping 9 cleans this year.
I
And
don't see it. Like
that's good enough.
like in my head, I haven't been convinced about how decent they look defensively, and I worry about them. Like I was thinking about like which players I would be very happy captaining my picketers against, and outside of the promoted teams, like Wolves and Brentham were the 2 teams, and West Ham are the 3 teams
Way
that
off with.
yeah.
Like I'm with you. Wolves is definitely, but I think Brenham, like I don't want to captain against, because they just have 8 men behind the ball all game. I mean, and they have. Look, I mean, Henderson's going to keep betting in. He's just a grown up. He's going to organize things and grown up. And they play with fucking shit ton of defenders. I mean, all they do is defend. Django, Damsgaard, like all these players grab. So, I mean, I like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
But I feel like this is going to put immediate stress on your team, because like the fixtures for Brentham are terrible. Like in the next 10, you've got Chelsea, Fulham away, United, City, West Ham away, Liverpool, Palace, Newcastle, Brighton. Like you couldn't write a tougher line of long-term fixtures. And what happens is that once you have this long run, there's like 6 games in the next 10 against the top half teams. Like there's so much stress on these 2 players to get you points, and clean sheet points are double.
Dude, he gets 4 points every game.
Yeah, but 4 points.
That's 4 points every game.
But he's gonna not get the 4 extra points that are on offer because of clean sheets. Like just a little adjustment to the overcorrection to the fucking Defcons. I want you to do that. That's
4-5. He's 4-5. Like he's gonna get me 4 points. They keep a clean against Fulham. Like I'm fucking fine. Like I'm totally fine. Because do you know who else blanks all the time? Mid-priced midfielders against bad teams. They get 2 points all the time. It's like, what are we talking about here? These are the last 3 players on your team. They're generally gonna blank more often than not.
Yeah, but the last 3 players on your 11, they need to show up every week. Like you.
And he will. He'll get me in my fucking Defcons. Potato, it ain't much, but it's honest work. Yeah. And I'll take it to the bank.
Yeah. Like I would just.
I mean, they'll probably clean Chelsea because Chelsea can't score an open, and they're good at set pieces. So we'll clean this week. Fulham suck. They can't create. Clean. And United at home, they suck. Clean. 3 cleans on the bounce. How about that? How's that sound?
I'm going to let you simmer over this for the next 7 days, because this is too much stress on your team having 2 Brentham defenders with those fucking fixtures. That's all. Like that's
okay.
All right.
Heard, chef.
Yeah. All right. Palace. For those that don't know, Walsh is a Palace fan. Lot of injuries. Wharton seems like he's out for 7 to 8 weeks.
They actually just updated it 3 weeks.
Oh, Wharton's out just for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
That's interesting, because there was a post yesterday. And Sarr might be out for game week 4 and 5, probably, because of the... And is Pino injured?
I think that was a diddle, an international diddle. I think he'll probably be fine, but I'm not sure.
All right. So talk to us about the picks at Palace, because I feel like the defenders are correctly priced.
Except for Lacroix, yeah.
Yeah, Lacroix should be much higher, you reckon? Yeah, because of he's also a monster on set pieces. Like I think he has a lot lesser set piece assists or goals than he should, because you're always looking for him on the cross as well.
Yep.
Must have on the wildcard, Lacroix.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tarko, and Senesi are all like really shoulder to shoulder with which is the best of the three of them. But I mean, obviously, it could all be in your team. It's just it's nonsense. I mean, he'll probably finish with something around like 6 attacking returns this year, I would imagine, at the end of the season if he stays fit. You know, we're going to keep something in the 10 region of cleans, and he's going to get the free. He's 5 million. But yeah, I mean, up top, it's obviously concerning. Like we play Sunderland, we have a couple good fixtures coming up, and then we have a little break. We just had Europe, and I mean, I started with Mateta. I still really like Mateta as a pick with Pens, obviously. In general, good. The biggest issue with us that I've seen so far is like our squad is just so shallow that we just don't pressure, we don't press, we don't play with that much intensity entering the opponent's final third as much as we used to, because we have these games, like we had these games against Frederiksland or whatever on Thursdays, and we just play the same team, every 3 days.
Yeah.
So if we're doing the full tilt, like we were really like extra parked first 3 games, and we opened up a little bit more against Villa from what I saw, but which I didn't see. I missed that game. I watched the first 2, but yeah, I just the Sarr injuries is worrying. Without Wharton, progressing the ball through midfield and just progressing the ball in the final third is worrying. We're gonna be. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for us. It's gonna be tough for us to fight in Europe. I really thought we would add more like 6 players or 7 players in the window, and we added like 2. So it's gonna be a problem, I think.
So a lot of people are looking at Mateta on the wild card. Do you think these injuries and maybe lack of ball progression will place too much stress on his ability to get points? Like it's still Sunderland and West Ham. So what's your read there?
I think a big thing to me is more of like who is he competing with? Like who else are you looking at in that?
Evan Nielsen, 7 million,
or
probably.
I mean, Evan Nielsen without Pens, as I have no time for it. Like I expect Clivert to be back in, probably after the break. So I think Evan Nielsen's window as a pick is closed.
João Pedro.
Terrible pick. I think it's really between him and Wood probably for the next few game weeks. I would probably just go Wood. As much as it pains me to say, like having the 2 promoted fixtures after the Arsenal game, because it's hard to. I mean, without like I probably watch about like 34 of the games a year for us, and we are so fragile in terms of what we look like when we're good and we're firing on all cylinders. We're the top 6 team. That happens for about 5 games a year, and you never know when that's going to be. It's not when our best player is injured, which is Wharton. Wharton's our best. And without Sarr's dynamism, I don't know. I couldn't pick Jeremy Pino Grigio out of a lineup at this point, honestly. So I don't know much about him, admittedly. But you put Kamada in for Eze, a lot worse.
Yes.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. I mean, Hughes does his work, but like Lerma has to play. He can't pass. That's a problem. So, I mean, we still play Mitchell, who's horrendous. I cannot wait for him to put Sosa in. I'm dying for that. But yeah, I think when we aren't humming, it just makes us a little bit.
All right. But despite that, the defense should still be okay, right? Like I'm asking that for people that want to double up on Palace defense, maybe, for example. Completely fine, right? Yeah.
I think that the bigger issue with it to me is like watching Palace over the years. When we are this iteration, and this is one of the best, like we're still keeping Gahey and having just so much continuity. Henderson's been phenomenal. I know he's taken a lot of stick over the years, and he's like bad locker room, cancer guy, blah, 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 but he's been unbelievable since he's gotten the #1 shirt. We don't have these, like when we don't have the outballs and we don't have sustained pressure on the other team, we're just under pressure for so much longer in the game. So the amount of times we have to do the thing is like an extra 25 times than when we just look good and balanced, and the ball's in the middle third a lot. The ball's in their third for some period of time. The ball's just in our third a lot.
Yeah.
And when we're not fully fit, it's hard to imagine that changing dramatically. So I'm worried about that from the standpoint of any player that's not relying on getting extra free points for playing the game, which is Gahey, which is Henderson. I mean, it's everyone but LaCroix.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it almost takes up the value for what's his name, Richards, in my opinion, because it looks like at least while Wharton is injured, his Defcon ing rate should go higher. So you've got that insurance at least. All right, let's talk about Everton. Now, it's an interesting proposition because like Moyes has gotten a little sexier with all these picks that he's gotten up front. Jackie Boy, Dewsbury Hall, and
Jackie Boy.
I want to talk to you about Jackie Boy. That was one of the things I thought of. And that two things here. I'll just say the guy that makes me slightly worried about their defense because Moyes is like, you know what, I'm going to open the top two buttons of my shirt this year and I'm going to chill and let the new crowds in the stadium like watch what we're doing here. And in turn, I'm interested in one of their midfielders. Talk to me about both those things.
I mean, Ndiaye I think is a standout. It's not Jack for me. You have Pens. He's the back post runner. He's the goal scorer, and Jack is just doing the dancing thing with trying to get assists. The one thing that we kind of
he's Defconning.
Defcon's close. He's Elliot Anderson Defconning 11-11. So I mean, you sound the alarms on that front. Like if he's going to, I just don't understand it honestly. And we like, I fundamentally don't understand how he is doing this, and I need to watch him closer to really wrap my head around it. But Ndiaye with Pens, like, it's just he's the one that I don't have on my team that I'm like, yeah, he's someone that's going to just continue to be really good all season, and he's going to leave Everton summer and he's going to be sold for 70 million. And yeah, so I love Ndiaye. The point that you're making about the defense, yeah, totally with you. I mean, we're not parking to fuck. Like they're vibing out a little bit more. They're playing with 2 mids instead of 5, which kind of they did last year. The thing about them is like they're just so well organized, and they don't even have Brandt yet back. I mean, they're playing with Michael Keane, and they have conceded no goals in open play? Just Pens? Is that correct?
Yeah, but the NPXGC, so non-penalty XG conceded, was pretty poor last time I checked.
Well, they did one against Wolves, one non-pen against Wolves.
Yeah.
Or Wolves got a couple open.
Yeah.
Cool. They saved the pen. That was 2 ago. Yeah. The Wolves game. Yeah.
Yeah. Only Burnley and Wolves have better worse open play XGC than Everton so far. So they've had a poor season at the start of the season. So that worries me about like just generally if Moyes is. There's 2 players having identity crisis, 2 managers having identity crisis. Not a crisis, but like I think Nuno at one end and Moyes at the other, where both are like trying to do different things. But I think Moyes looks fine. There's less pressure. He's having more fun, maybe because of the results.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Tarko though, it's a different. Like he's still sitting here. I'm like, he's got 4 points, 8 points, 3 points. I'm like, we're good.
Yeah,
and the Leeds game again, right? It's a pen. It's a bad handball pen. So I mean that's 4 more, right? So I don't know. Like I don't know if the 4-2-3-1 and they're going to be playing so much more open that it's going to be like one-way traffic at Fuckford for the rest of the season. And if that's the case, then Tarko probably won't be able to overcompensate. Like if they keep 6 cleans this year because they're playing in this style, and I just honestly like they get like when they get Brandt back, I think it just is going to possibly allow them to just defend less, and they're just really good. Like they might just be 8th. They might be like 7th or 8th this year.
Yeah,
that's also possible. And no, they're not going to park and keep inordinate amount of cleans and just like do nothing. But they could still keep a lot of cleans in the style that like how Bournemouth keep, like not necessarily from the same way of pressing, but they're playing on the front foot, and then in that same way, it's different tactically, stylistically. Put Brandt back. They still have Gay shielding. I mean, they still have one of the best goalkeepers in the division. I'm sorry to say what you want about Fucker, but he stops goal, he stops shit. So I still just and it's for me. I mean, on my team, like I have just Tarko. it's not a heavy investment. I mean, it's just a defender. Yeah. They don't keep it clean for a few weeks. Like he'll still get 4 points instead of 2 for when he plays, and I can make an adjustment. But for now, it's he gets 4 instead of 2 when he plays, so it's good enough.
And you think Enda is going to remain the pick over Jack? Because if Jack starts taking a couple of shots a game and starts hitting those Defcon points, we don't know how that happens because we don't know how Jack gets Defcon. Uh, I know both of us are going to get sucked in because I feel like we just have a year or two of Jacks at peak age, peak potential because of just history in terms of what's going to be up with him. We will want a piece of that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough with him because like he really had the one charmed year with Villa a while ago. Everything was falling for him, and then he only has one player really reliably that he can pass to that's going to score. I mean, they don't have a striker as far as I could tell. And KDH is lucky top bins the thing. That's nice, but he's an 8. I mean, he's not passing to Ndai. I'm just concerned about how fluid and frequent the assists are going to be. And in terms of like, look at him shooting, he's never shot. Like, what is that based on? He's never really put shot numbers in. He just doesn't shoot. He just doesn't do it. So I don't imagine that changing really. Like, I don't think he's going to spike a 10-goal season.
Yeah, he's never done it.
Not the player he is.
His best seasons,
I mean,
8-7 and 6-12 is best years.
Yeah, and and he was really injured in the 6-12 year. He was on pace. He probably would have double-digit goals in that. But but the bonus points are interesting. The Defcons are because he's hitting it from different angles where it's not like pens like with Pack and Mo. It's or Pack and Bruno. It's pens and it's chance created and it's Defcon.
Yeah,
he doesn't have pens, creating chances, and he's like close on Defcons.
Yeah.
And he's good on bonus points. Is that enough? I don't know. Like I like his teammate more. I like Ndai more. I like other Peta's obviously. So it's tough. I think he gets shouldered out.
Yeah, and I also think like when I'm starting to think about teams, right? Like outside of the new rules, like I think Enda and Grealish are both capable of winning pens too. Like I think that might be a thing. Like, do they have good dribbly guys with great ball control? Yeah, both of them fit that sort of mold for me as well. So I think the pens do add up. And Barry, yeah.
And Barry. When Barry plays, yeah.
All right. I want to talk about a couple of picks that, like, when you started talking them up, I was like, whoa, he was nowhere near my radar. And after 3 weeks, like, I see it with Paqueta, man. Talk to us about him.
I mean, Paqueta, he's the best pick in the game. I think it's pretty obvious and clear at this point. He just does everything. Like with the rule change with the things is gets them. He's right there. He got 11. He did the Anderson 1 week and then he got 15. Gameweek against Sunderland, he only got 6 because bossing possession. But he ticks every box. He's on pens, playing, creating everything. He's the best player on the team. I mean, he's involved in every attack. And I really think, like, we talked a lot about him in preseason on our pod. Like, I think he's just kind of been misunderstood since he's been there. And he's the betting scandal thing over his head has really, I think, weighed on him as we've seen performances. But I mean, this is a player that was looking at, a 70 million pound or whatever move to City a couple years ago. I mean, this is a world-class player and he just hasn't shown it for a couple years. But, he has right now, I mean, with the system that Potter's playing, he's playing behind Bowen and whoever the striker is. Hopefully it's Callum soon. I mean, Fulkrug looks horrendous. So, he has players to pass to. He drops in. He has a free role. The team is built around him. I mean, everything is just like he is the fulcrum and the hub of the team and the heartbeat of the team. He finds the game. He comes deep. The Defcons are huge. I mean, he's going to get these extra Defcon points in addition to totaling up, just attacking returns. So, and we had 4 and 6 a couple years ago. He's never really played in a consistent defined role under a manager ever. And like it looks like from them buying Fernandez to go into the engine room, they got the other kid back there. They got as well, who's probably going to get integrated soon. So it's just they're not going to put him back there. He's probably going to be playing in that behind the 2 strikers. And he has the kind of thing where Bruno is like when Bruno plays really deep, he's only defconning and he's making kind of long ball creative chances. But with Paqueta, he's not shackled by a position. Like when he's playing behind the strikers, he still roams into the middle third. He still roams deep to get defcons. That's why it's like crazy that he just does everything and he's always running. So he just has everything. Like he just has everything.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And he's fucking 6 million.
I've got Sar at
Yeah.
the moment, right? So I'm looking at like the two players that I'm looking really closely at is him and Semenyo. Now how do you weigh up? Semenyo looks like he's on steroids at the moment, but and he's getting into a lot more central positions than he did last year. But do you think Clive coming back next week maybe changes that? How do you see that?
I am so out on Semenyo. Like I couldn't be happier that he is the player that's doing this right now that everyone is kind of like being baited into. I just have no confidence in him in a consistency standpoint from getting, high XG chances. He loves taking pot shots. And yeah, I think Cliver coming back is going to be a big deal. And Evan Nielsen, like they're still finding their feet and they're still finding their balance. They have like Christie hasn't been playing, so like he typically is just a winger, and he cuts inside sometimes. And
He's
I
cutting
just
inside
don't
a lot more this season, though. That's the only thing that I'm like paying attention to.
Yeah, I just see it as fool's gold. Like I just don't see it as like this is going to continue in perpetuity and this is the new normal. I just think that this is like it's been a few weeks where the matchups and a couple of specific instances have happened where like the brace against Liverpool is kind of a joke. I mean that wasn't unbalanced. Like I don't think that was he didn't have a brace game. But I just feel like the points are going to dry up and he's going to go on a run of 5-6 games where he gets 1 assist, like we're used to seeing him, where he's just a peripheral figure, kind of not doing much. And I just worry about that. Like I would be really surprised if this is, oh my God, Antoine Semenyo breakout season. He finishes the season on 14 goals, 10 assists. Like I just can't see it. It could happen. Could happen.
Could happen. He's got
just
that
don't
talent
see
for
it.
sure. Like there's a couple of things that are on my mind. As I was watching back extended highlights of all the 3 Bournemouth games last night, because I was like just looking into Pack versus Semenyo, taking my time to like make this decision. He got those big chances, but there are always like runs from far wide into the center of the box or like big transitional moments. But those transitional moments happen a lot with Iraola's team. So that's where I am. I'm a little like the world of possibilities with Semenyo is the same, where he could continue doing what he did last year, or he could have a genuine breakthrough here because the talent is there. But what strikes to me is he still scuffs his shots. He's not like a lethal finisher. Like he tends like the fact
A lot
that
of block shots.
Yeah, the fact that he misses a lot of his shots, like they're either wildly good, like early snapshot that he took against Spurs, which almost went into the far post, or they're like scuffs that go 10 feet above the goalpost as well. So I can't. I'm confused about his finishing levels and ability. That's where yeah.
Can we switch pivot to your team, Man United?
All right, sure, go on.
What's cooking? What do we got?
We're gonna score a few goals. We look good, I think. Yeah, in attack, I think.
Bumo, how nice is it to have Bumo, to just have a grown-up attacker who knows what he's doing?
The biggest change from last year to this year is like, even if we were as terrible as we are, we managed to get the ball into the final third last year quite a few times. But who was having control of the ball in the final third multiple times? Rashford and Garnacho. And the amount of time they took, just the base case scenario of make the right decision, the amount of times they made the wrong decision, like makes you lose your hair while watching a football game. So like it's just so nice to see 2 players just making the right decision 90% of the times in Cunha and Bumo. Is just like, I'm happy to watch United play football this season. Like it's just such a good change. Like yeah, obviously we'll have our faults and we're a team in transition, but I think we're finally transitioning in the correct way. Now I reckon, I think we needed sure things in the market, and that's what we've done in terms of Bumo and Cunha, in terms of just taking the level of the team up a little. So yeah, like I'm a little worried about defense. I'm playing if you're in the market for a 4.5, pay close attention to Euro, because he's been on the edge of Defconning, and there's not much between the Defconning that him and Dillit are getting at the moment. But Dillit, one thing that's flown slightly under the radar is I think we've gotten really, really good on attacking set pieces, especially with the delivery on the right with Bumo. He's on the money every single time, and we're targeting Dillit.
As long as Bruno doesn't take it, you're in good shape.
Exactly. So like that, I think there might be a couple of picks that the problem is we're not a reliable defense at the moment, and I don't see that changing at the moment. But I think any of the front three are just good picks. I think we'll do well in attack. Like Bruno is somebody who have taken a U-turn on in the last, and I think I'll continue struggling with Bruno versus spending a million lesser for Cunha and Boomer for a while, because when you describe about how an attacker shows up on the pitch, right? So many times, because we've got 4 attackers in front of him, the 2 10s, maybe the striker, and one of the 2 wing backs. Like he's not involved in the open play chance creation a lot. It only happens because he's world class and he knows when to make the run, etc. So I suspect that one of Cunha or Bumo will end up comfortably beating what he offers at 9 million compared to what they would offer at 8 million. Because I'd still, my belief in open play threat hasn't gone. Like I don't want to completely overcorrect there. But while that happens and while you're figuring that out, my theory is that it's just go with with Bruno at 9 million till you're learning. Because much wrong can't happen at that price with Bruno, given what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, Bruno's just an unbelievable pick. Just like he's Paqueta, but 3 million more, basically.
Yeah.
And you pay for that because there are literally no other picks in the game like Bruno and Paqueta. There are 2 of 2. There are no other midfielders that tick the boxes that they tick. And I would pay 10 million for that. It's just, it's like you say, you watch your team play all the time, and how many times do you create a chance and Bruno's not even in the fucking screen? All the time. It happens all the time. And how many times do those chances go in and he doesn't get points? Rarely. He gets points. He just fucking finds a way. Like he just finds a way. He always has. He always will.
He's got that inevitable quality about him, like Mo does. Like Mo will have a bad game, but shit points out. Like he's got that and I feel like there will come a point where you might get a little frustrated. There might come a point where you might get a little frustrated, but it's a great price point because then you can pivot into whoever you like in that 7 to 8 million bracket, whoever appears. But also like the 3 players, Ahmad, Bumo, Cunha, they're going to win some pens. Like I was watching the game and I was like, we could have won 3 pens easily. In the
there was the first half pen shout.
Yeah, we're gonna win some pens this year. Yeah. So he's I'm looking at 5+ goals easy. Just
won fucking 2 in 3 games, dude.
Yeah, it's insane.
I mean, it's not Brighton levels, but it's close.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, man. I need to probably get him later.
Bruno's just...
But I think you can supplement Bruno with like a second attacker also, because I think we'll be good in attack, especially like game week 8-9 onwards when Europe starts stressing other teams out, and we won't have that. Like I see that advantage really kicking in late November, December when Europe's done, and then the fixtures are coming thick and fast because our players will just be fresher.
Yeah, then they get to actually train.
Yeah,
they usually don't train. So.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll have to just see who the manager is.
Yeah,
it could be fucking you. It could be me. It could be anyone.
It's insane, man. I feel like if we did the things we are and we were just not Man United in terms of the insane amounts of eyeballs that exist on this team, because I think that affects the players and the managers both. I mean, Amorim can't watch us take a penalty. I mean, look at the amount of pressure he's on at the moment. Like, I think we'd progress a lot more better if we were a quiet corner of the world, but we aren't. So that's what it is.
Aren't.
Yeah. Talk to me about Gyok. How do you feel about Gyok at like okay, there is the ticking of the box thing that he does where Kai's not around for a while and he's got pens and he's going to get 90 minutes. But like, How have you felt when you watched him play?
I mean, he might be terrible. I have no idea. Like, I'm very, very certain that that's a possibility, that he's just, they lit money on fire and he's just really bad. And also, while I don't know that, what I do know is that they're, one of the best teams in the league, and he's not that expensive, and he's on pens. And once Eze plays, and Saka will be back soon enough, Odegaard will be like, they should be creating chances, and they don't have any. Like, they should be going to him. So I don't know if it's like he's going to be a one-trick pony, and the trick's good enough that he just does the thing. It just feels like it's just can't really go too wrong with the pick. Like, he just ticks the boxes. Tip of the spear. He's going to be playing 90. He's fit. Like, all that shit. I'm not convicted of it. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, I love this guy so much. Amazing. I'm gonna have him for months and months. I mean, I might sell him in a month and a half if I just keep watching him play, and if Arteta's like, he goes to Newcastle and he covers up again, they don't do anything against NFO or West Ham, like, I could be like, well, it's not worth it. But for the time being, it just feels like I'm buying the future pick. Like, he's the guy. No matter what happens in the next three, which I think at home NFO is a fantastic. Gameweek 7 when they have Western, Fulham, Palace, Burnley, Sunderland, everyone's going to be trying to get him in there. No
Everybody
matter what's
always
going on.
the robots all have Gyok. They all took like 2 transfers.
Happy to be a robot.
Yeah. So
love to hear that. Love to be aligned with the robot, unknowingly aligned.
You're unknowingly aligned with them on 3 picks that they're massively bullish on: Gyok, Bruno, and Pack 10.
Pack.
Yeah.
Dude, I was standing Pack. I'm gonna get
way before anybody else. I know that.
I've been standing Pack for fucking all about the Pack. Yeah, that's good. No, I mean, but again, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the jury's out. I don't know about the fee, how he fits in. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about the play.
Yeah, same here. That's why I'm happy to wait and watch till Game Week 7. If he turns out to look better than he has so far, I'll go there. But until then, I'll stay with my dresses. Because I was thinking of the places in which you could maybe spend a little less money if you wanted to, and if you would to buy insurance, like 9 million here, go Mateta, spend another $500,000 to take squad depth deeper would be one of the places I would look at. That's all.
Yeah, the other thing too though with Gyok is just, I mean, yeah, I've considered that, and I hear you. Home NFO, like home city.
Yeah, good fixtures.
Not that bad.
It's not bad.
I mean, home city's not that bad. Like at Newcastle, I mean, it's St. James is a tough place to go, and also like you don't know what Edward's going to throw at them. But he could all of a sudden open up. I mean, it's just when you're talking about the best teams in the league, which is really just, I guess at this point, I mean, I don't know if City can be accepted. I mean, Holland's something else, but Arsenal and Liverpool, like, it doesn't really matter who they're playing. Like, they're gonna create chances. They're gonna be okay. They're not playing Liverpool again until March, so
I don't think that
should be fine.
I don't think that applies to Arteta. I don't think he's approached a big game with an intent to not lose. I'll stay in the game. I don't want to win, but I want to make sure I don't lose ever in these last 3 years. He plays safe in the big games all the time. That's my little worry with Arteta.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's fair. And they do have City coming up, and it's still like I still feel like I have in the back of my mind though, you have the Pens.
Yeah,
someone throws Calafiori down on a corner, a long throw, and I'm like, oh great, I have 9 points, and they fucking sucked ass and they didn't do anything. So I mean, that gives you the get out of jail free card, where I'm not looking at this like, well, he's absolutely gonna blank in this game week, and I'm a mess and this bad pick. Again, right? Players blank all the time. You're not gonna have a berth of 20 good fixtures, so it's just about trying, I think, look at the process and tick as many boxes as you can to try and mitigate against the risk. So with Gyok, I feel like for now it's just he's just a good pick.
Yeah, and out of all, your future proofing there as well, because there's a fixture run coming up later, so you've got something in place there. Right. Do you
Yeah.
think the meta is going to be Haaland plus more, or things at Liverpool might change once Isak comes in? We'll start seeing where the goal share sort of goes, etc. I don't see that changing with City because I don't see any other goal scorers. In fact, it's funneled even more and more towards Haaland. So, like, I think he's great, but like, what do you see with Mo?
Well, I think the question is more like with Holland. I mean, I don't know why Holland is so underowned and why he's so underrepresented, and I just don't get that. So I think that he will continue to rise up in ownership. He's the best pick on their team. He's probably the best pick in the or best like player, whatever points thing in the league. Bo is more question though, because like you're saying, they're gonna have more dynamic attack and good players. It's not just gonna be like the Mo show like it's been for the last few years. He's going to the thing in Africa, so he's gonna be gone for a while at that point. There just aren't very many. You just don't need money. So I don't really get why there are teams that don't have both. There are no other good picks that are expensive. You can put both of them and even have a third expensive player. You're still fine. Everyone's going to have five at the back soon. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's just both. Like, it doesn't make that much sense to not go both. I think we need to see more from Mo. I mean, he's obviously more peripheral game weeks, really tough fixtures. But I think after, we see the next few, like, he's going to brace soon. He always does. They haven't gotten a pen yet. Teams have three pens so far. So, I mean, Mo's going to get his. He always eats until, Ramadan. So we'll be okay.
Yeah,
And Mo's going to be okay.
I think my stance is until we learn what happens at Liverpool, I'll stick with Mo. I even have words, and I actually think like people on Wildcard. I actually mentioned this on pod yesterday. I think it's a case of buy while the stocks are low kind of thing. I actually think he's looked fine in the last three games. In fact, I like him. I liked him a lot in the Arsenal game because I thought he was making a lot of good runs, center of the pitch. It's just that his teammates weren't finding him. And then in the last 20 minutes, once game state changed, he got a shot in. There was this cross that Mo made, and he was sitting right behind Raya as a. And I don't think he's been bullied that much. I think the only game where he saw the effects of bullying was the Newcastle game, but that was just away from anything any team is going to witness this year just because of circumstance. I, in fact, think he's good for points where Liverpool will have a lot more possession because he's just high volume. And I think we'll see that come to the fore a lot, especially in the next two games, Burnley and Everton. So, like, he's one of the, what do you see there?
Yeah, I mean, Everton's a tricky one. That's always a tough one to call, even though it's on paper. It's like, oh yeah, there's a bad team, the Dar. But yeah, I'm with you. I feel like he's just been a little bit off the boil in the final third. Like his balls that he's been playing have just been like he's just been mistiming, like just undercooking, overcooking, shots missing, like just not his typical lethal self. But I agree. Like it's still the beginning of the season. Like always so good at the beginning. And I just back that. Like I just back it being normalized. And he still has two returns. They're gonna win pens. Like he's just gonna get points.
No, no, I was
So
talking about
I think
words.
he's
Words.
obviously the best. Oh, Verts.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more concerned about Verts from an FPL. Um, he's so good that I just don't know what kind of role slot's gonna have him in. And to me, it's like he's the kind of player that I imagine this season going where it's like the team's attack is so good and he's in a dangerous, threatening position a lot of the time, but it's all just like happenstance and circumstance. He gets points. Like there's nothing funneling. Like he's not creating every chance. Like he's not on a couple set pieces, maybe like corners, but he's not like on set pieces. He doesn't have a lot of the avenues. So I think like if they're not scoring four, and it's almost like a coverage pick. It reminds me a lot of getting like Marmouche on City because we think City are gonna, and like yeah, I guess Marmouche will just get points because he knows what he's doing and he's an attacker and like that kind of thing. Like that's kind of how I imagine it going this season. But it could change. It could change.
That's what I was saying. I'm actually different with you. I think he's like just about to become the really good pick that people thought he was because I think he's just getting into great positions. Like I'm sort of tunnel vision watching him when I watch Liverpool. I'm like, why didn't Graf just pass to him? He was open. Like I feel like people are not seeing his runs, and he's making some really good runs. So I feel like because the first two games, by virtue of them being Bournemouth, Newcastle, and Arsenal, they're slightly more chaotic. I think now games in which Liverpool will have more possession, I think words will come through. I just see him as a pick where people are writing him off too early. So
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's again also. I mean, he's 8'5". Like
8-3
1 in
or
3 is whatever he is, but
yeah.
like I mean, it's like is 1 in 3. Like what do we want? What do we need him to be doing? I mean, he needs to be doing like probably a little bit more than that. Like he's competing with good picks. I mean,
Yeah.
so him getting an assist because he's making good runs and then he finds like Mo for a tap in. It's like once in a while. I mean, we need fucking output. Like we need output here, baby. Like
I,
he's not Gakpo at 7'5". So I'm
I,
worried about that.
I think the output will come because I feel like Liverpool are more capable of blowing teams off compared to most other teams at the moment. Like I think only City compete with them in terms of X4 goals in a game. Like I don't think
Yeah.
anybody else comes to consistently threatening scoring 4 goals in a game. I think he'll be involved because there's going to be more points to take, and he's going to take them. I reckon that's where I am.
Yeah.
All right, all right. There's a couple of questions that we had from the Discord. Actually, people on Wildcard. I thought I'd shoot them to you. Uh, Quick ones. Eze or Semenyo? What do you see there? Is Eze a pick? We spoke about Semenyo.
No.
No,
No.
not at the moment.
Either. No. The answer is no. Next question.
All right. Is Who's the best eighth attacking bench fodder? If people want people playing. I know you're saying 5-3-2, but like if people want like a cheap 4.5 million midfielder or attacker,
Fucking Ben Foster, Lyle Foster. Are we want Burnley forwards? What do we got here, baby?
yeah, Josh
What are
King,
we
right?
talking about? Yeah, I mean they just didn't buy to replace him. Like so I mean the window closed and it's just, I think he's really lightweight and I don't imagine him scoring more than like 4 goals and 5 assists this season's probably like his maximum. And also that's like George Boyd status, legendary stat. So yeah, I mean it's got to be King. Like this has to be.
All right. Double Bournemouth defense. I put this in because you've got double Brentford, and I would much rather double Bournemouth defense. What do you see there? Like in terms of
Yeah, Petrovic is great pick. It's a great pick. My thing and Alon is I think he's been trying to get me to switch to Petrovic
I
as
would do the
well, but
same.
there's just something to me about the
Kelleher and
teams
saves.
that don't park. Like Bournemouth has never parked in their lives. Their Iola has arrived. And they can kill a game just as easily by suffocating and continue to play their way, which they did against, Spurs or whatever. But I think you're just also so much more likely to give up a big chance that way than when you have 8 men in your own box for the last half hour. Like you could get a deflected goal, but you also aren't likely to give up some like monster tap in
Big chance,
because
yeah.
you're still open. You're
Yeah.
still playing open. So that makes me so nervous all the time.
Like to explain this, like right, like what comes to my mind is like a lot of people back in the day used to look at City's XGC numbers and then question why don't they have more cleans? Because they don't give up many chances. They'll give up one chance, but that one chance will be a big chance that they give, which
Point
is
6.
yeah, exactly. So that's how you read it. People who want a short term punt on Gakpo because of Burnley Everton, what do you see there? On wildcard.
I think you're crazy if you're putting Gakpo in on it. I mean, maybe you have 3 frees and you're okay. If it's a 1 week punt and that's what you're about, fine. But the borrowed time is borrowed because we just have no idea what's going to happen with that when. I mean, it's basically you're obviously you're like Gakpo and Ekatike, and we just don't know where that's. Yeah, I know Gakpo signed the long term contract, and but is Ekatike just like never going to start in the league again? I just feel like that the risk over them is so great that it's not worth. I mean, look, even when Gakpo fucking plays, all he could do is just like cut in on, and sometimes he bangs one on his right foot like top bins, get some assists from side passes. Set your clock to that, right? But he's just not even that good of a pick, honestly.
Yeah.
So I just don't.
I think if you're buying a second Liverpool stock, I'd still go Wirtz and bet on the long-term nature of
I
that.
agree with you.
Yeah. All right, Ping boys. Where do you see like 5+ goals, 4+ goals getting conceded? Is there a team that you're worried about in terms of defensive? Like,
Yeah, I mean it leads by a mile. I don't think it's close. I think it emphatically leads, especially with missing Ampadu. He's supposed to be out for a while, I think, right?
yeah, and Tanaka.
Yeah, I mean Tanaka, he's an attack, but I mean Ampadu, I thought was their best player by miles in the Everton game, and he was just like holding everything together. Their manager should have been fired before the season started, and he will be fired this season at some point during. I think Leeds is the most explosive by a lot. I think Wolves is probably second ahead of Scott Parker and ahead of Sunderland. He just plays open shit. Like he's crazy. Vitor's been playing crazy stuff. Like there is I don't know what they're doing. But there are
Every
goals in
team
all
that
of
has
their
played
games.
Wolves so far has stat padded against them. They've been giving big chances max.
Red cards, big chances, players out of position. Like it's wild. The Wolves games have been wild. Right. And he's still. They have new wing backs just came up, just rocked up. So maybe he's going to get some things sorted out in a natural break. And I really like Vitor. I really like him a lot as a manager. I rate him. I think that they're going to be okay. I don't think they're going to be relegated by any stretch, but for right now, they do not have it together defensively. And I think they're another one. I like.
There's a team that plays Wolves and Leeds next in the next two. No interest?
Who's that?
Newcastle United.
Who's it? No. I mean, why the Newcastle is the worst team in the league? Are you kidding me?
Like I think we don't know at the moment. Right? If you punt there, Gordon should have been fit, man. He was the pick for these fixtures. He was definitely the pick for these fixtures. But I feel like if somebody punts on like Wissa or Ilanga, they could spike something. I see Wissa playing the next 3 games. Depends on his fitness. No idea. That's the problem.
I mean, he could bench Ilanga. I mean, we don't know if he could play the fucking German mustache guy, the pedophile looking guy. I mean, we have no idea what Edwards going to do. Like, the other thing too with them is like they have no familiarity. Everyone just got there, and without Joelinton, like the balance, like everything's fucked in Newcastle. The vibes are bad. It's a mess. Like they just drew 0-0 to Leeds. Like that's a team you want to back? Like no, thank you. No, thank you.
They drew 0-0 to Leeds because they decided to play in that sort of like defensive way. I think they'll play differently against Wolves and who did they play? They drew to Leeds. Okay, yeah. So it's not Leeds anymore.
They just played Leeds.
Yeah, they just played Leeds. It's Wolves and Bournemouth. Yeah, so it's not that good looking then.
You're on your Gameweek 2 notes.
Yeah. And one question, because I'm a Watkins owner, is Ebenings going to sort it out?
Sorry to hear that. He is sorting it out. He's playing for the Europa League, baby.
So that's it. It's
sorted.
League's no focus.
Sorted.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit. These 38 games don't matter. They're going to finish 10th. And they'll win the Europa League. And he'll tell you all to suck his dick. His little micro penis. He'll be jerking it. You know how he does.
I know. Marco Pisa. Harvey boy, did you see something there?
Harvey Elliott?
Yeah.
Alon I think he's teeing this up for you. I really don't see it. I just don't see how he's an FPL asset in this team. Like even if he's playing in the 4-4-2 right wing, I just don't see the output being required to actually crack an 11 in FPL. I like the player, but more from just the craftiness and the trickery, but not from like, oh yeah, this is someone I want.
My initial thing is he could be a pick, but if Emery decides to start him, I think he improves Watkins and Rogers because they need somebody to like support and do some other things because the Gassan guy they got, he's not up to it so far. So they need somebody who's like been there, done that in the league for a while, understands what the Prem is like. And I think that's why Elliott might just help them find that balance. Because alongside it, right, he's sort of like midfieldery as well as wingery, like 2.5 attackers, like you guys, because he's almost good for that role. Asset
Yeah.
balance, which might give Rogers and Watkins some.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely good for the attack in general that they got him, and I imagine he's going to start that right wing spot. I mean, where Bailey used to start, and I don't know, he's shit houses in that spot ever since. But I mean, if that's going to be kind of Rogers, Ollie, and him as kind of the attackers, and I mean, losing Kamara is a big blow for them. But just from an FPL standpoint, I know he's 5'4", he's so cheap. I'm just like, I don't know. I want to see. I have to see it. I want to see it. I'm not like I don't want to be the first one to buy that ticket. But what are you doing with Ollie? You must be shitting yourself. Are you just holding forever?
I'm holding at the moment. Holding.
You're fucked. You're so fucked.
So what I'm doing is I want to buy Gyökeres, right? So in 7. So I'm holding, seeing what Gyök is up to, and then if I have to buy, I'll buy. At the moment, I have Sar to focus on. So I need to just sell Sar and get myself a player that can play. That's where I am at the moment. Yeah. That's me with my questions. Is there anything you want to talk about?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like we've been running long, and I had some things I wanted to ask you about, but you were like putting me on so hot and heavy. So I'm done. I'm like toast right now.
Yeah, same, man.
I mean, I wanted to talk to you about reindeers because I know you've been sitting with reindeers, and I know you were talking about maybe wild carding, and you said you're not going to wild card off, but
yeah,
I don't want to rehash and relitigate things that you've already talked about episode and shit like that. But where are you at on reindeers?
Good pick. Shirky's out. Good pick. Shirky's out for a couple of months, and the worrying thing is I thought he was really shitty in the last game. Like he didn't have a good IRL performance, so that makes me worry about his minutes. But he's so cheap, it makes him easy to hold. Like he's not a problem because of the price is where I am at the moment. And I like the stats won't show this, but there's a lot of times he's still in the center of the box a lot, and it's just whether the ball falls to him or not. I still think City will score 4 goals or 3+ goals against Burnley, and I think by virtue of just starting, he might fall into points in such games. So that's where I am. I don't need to like worry about him too much at the moment. And on wildcard, if I need to get rid of him, I'll get rid of him. But until Burnley, just if he's playing, he's playing. Like it's just easy, right?
Because he's gonna go blank rest for Burnley. Are you ready for? You're ready for that, right? Like the Dorgu style.
Yeah, because I have 14 players, not 11 on my squad at the moment, boy. So that's what I'm working.
Touche. I hear you. Yeah.
I'm okay there.
I wanted to also talk to you about NFO. I see you still are sitting there with Cells and Maria. You're probably loving life with that. What's your deal with them? Where are you seeing with them?
Identity crisis, right? Like Nuno. Identity crisis. Yeah. Weirdly enough, I'm most confident about NFO in the next game. Because I'm like, Nuno knows he's got nothing else to do but do what he did last year. And he can't try to be all sexy. So let him just park, let that work. And I'm hoping that he takes a little bit of that into game week 5 and 6. But yeah, man, the point of that was look at the fixtures and see if I can spike a few cleans. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. So they will be toast on wildcard. Yeah.
I mean, your shit's kind
of... It's all right, man. I'm not panicking because like my entire premise is I don't have the reason I've not wildcarded or have thought of wildcarding is just because there's a lot that I want to still know or figure in terms of which picks are the picks I like Semenyo, right? I want to see what world of possibilities is he living on the arc of. I want to see a couple more games where I see is Jack versus Endaya as clear as we see it. Is it just Defcon that we're going to play? I still believe in open play threat and picking players like we did back in the day where they get the shots and get the goals and get the cleans. So I don't have enough conviction to commit one way or the other, which is why I'm just like holding forward at the moment. And from a fixture standpoint, right? Like I've got a couple of Liverpool guys. I had a Palace guy. Nobody else really has a clean run of fixtures for the next 2 or 3. So I'll sit and watch in the meantime.
You're gonna be messaging me in like 3 or 4 game weeks and like, oh man, 5 at the back coming.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and game week
I'm joining
6 or 7 is likeliest when I wildcard anyway. So it could be the next international break where we're doing this with me on wildcard.
You'd be like, oh, you're right. When you do make a 5 at the back team, you don't have to make too many calls.
Yeah.
It makes itself.
I'll have a 5 at the back too, 100%. It's just that my 5th guy might be like a 4.0 million defender. That's about it. Because I feel like the thing in my head is like a lot of the top teams have just gotten there. A lot of the, not just top teams, the top 13, 14 teams have just gotten there. Like, I'll give it like 2 or 3 weeks before they start understanding each other, gelling. And once they start scoring goals and like, you see like a decent pick, like let's say Ndai or Semenyo, for example, with a goal and assist and like 12 points. And then you see like a 3-point Defcon and you start worrying about, okay, now if these players go on a good run, what am I supposed to do here? And I'm still not confident that the scales are tilting one way over the other because goals will come. So I just want to assess that. That's all.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You're wrong and you're wasting time, but that's fair.
Yeah. It's all right, man. Until then, Words is going to get me a brace this week anyway. I feel that good about him.
Yeah. Or he's not going to play.
No, he's going to start. He's going to be fine. Yeah. Like the only thing I'd want you to future-proof in your team was like have a place for Isak and you have that. Like with Gyok and Holland, it should be easy enough to get him in when you need to, if you need to. So that's not for 3 or 4 more weeks. But do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see Isak as a pick, honestly. I mean, that's gonna be when I get rid of Mo. Then Isak's he's a pick when he goes to Africa. Then I'm like, yeah, me.
But like once he's starting striker, game week 8 onwards, let him get into fitness or whatever. Did you think the scale is still there or no?
Again, I mean, like when you don't have pens,
yeah,
your ceiling is just not that high. Like, how many braces is Isak scoring? Like, I mean, he's obviously going to get some, but it's going to be a lot less than he used to because he doesn't get a free goal when they get the free goal. Bo gets it. So I just don't really care that much. Like, I'm not worried about it. I'm not interested. I mean, why does Haaland get hat tricks and pens and shit all the time? Because usually he gets a fucking free goal in those games. So when you don't do that, then you get a goal, and it's like, yeah, I could get 8 or 9 points or 7 or whatever points from someone else, like no problem. So unless if they're really like just absolutely blowing the doors down, and it's something like we haven't seen in like since when City had like Sane and Raz or something, and they're scoring 5 every game, which I would be surprised if that was the case. I just am not fucked. Like I just don't think he's a pick. When Mo leaves, when I get 5 free transfers because the beautiful interns at FPL Towers decided that we need 5 transfers to adjust our one African Cup of Nations player, I'll just get him. Be fine. He'll have pens again. He'll have pens,
Right.
Or he won, and Mac will have it, and he'll be a bad pick like Thiago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's that. I think that's the pod, man. Hour 33. Man, we spoke a lot.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Let's go on, man.
We talked.
I enjoyed
it. We did it.
Yeah.
We'll have you on ours next, and we'll switch. We'll turn the tables, and I'll put you on the burner.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks again, Walsh. And if you guys haven't already heard, just check them out. FML FPL on YouTube and all your audio platforms. Check them out. Again, my favorite pod. I don't miss an episode, so I highly recommend it. And I'll see you around, man. Take care.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
See you soon.
Yes. Take care.
Cheers.